My name is Megan Funk. Mike is my boyfriend. We live together on Hope Street. And so it was like 7:30, maybe a little bit before, and we were just kind of hanging out, waiting for the storm, kind of excited but anxious at the same time. And so all of a sudden, we just hear this like jet engine noise, and we're like, I thought it was the storm. I was like, whoa, like, because I'd never been in a hurricane before, and I was like, wow, that's pretty intense, like, what's gonna happen? But then we go and look out, we open the door and look out the door, and the wind wasn't blowing through the trees, so it was just a noise. And he's like, I actually have it on camera because I started recording it because it was just so crazy. In our conversation, I'm like, oh, like, what is that? I never heard wind like that. He's like, I think it might be the geothermal plant. And I'm like, why would it be that? And like, I got super nervous all of a sudden. And so then he calls the two numbers for the geothermal plant. Nobody answers. He calls 911. They don't give him any information. They just say, yeah, we know about the geothermal. Hang up. So we're like, okay, like kind of confused. Like, well, I guess he would have told us to evacuate if it was a big deal. So we were concerned, but not super worried yet. We're just like more perplexed by the noise. And soon after, I started feeling bad. Like headache came on, my throat got scratchy. I became really just like weird feeling. I don't really know how to describe it. And so I think it was like half hour later, he called the cops again to try and get more information. And they said, oh, it's okay, it's just like a steam release. And so Mike told me that, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's just steam, like I don't have to worry. And so like I went and laid down, was like, okay, so they said it was a steam release, and that made me feel more relaxed and comfortable, because when they say steam, I assume it was steam, you know?
Emergency steam release.
Yeah, so I wasn't too worried, and then, but I still started I felt worse, and I was like, okay, I know it's not in my head, I'm not feeling good. And so I checked my Facebook, and we see the message from Billy Canoy saying to evacuate if you're experiencing discomfort, and we definitely were. And then I went outside, and it stunk like a rotten egg, and I was like, yeah, let's get out of here. And so we loaded up all our stuff and just left, and we got about a mile until, that was as far as we could go because the trees are blocking the road. And we saw maybe 4 or 5 other cars on the street of people trying to leave. And there was one guy who was following us because we were trying to find a way out, and we just couldn't, so we all went back to our homes. So we went back, and like he said, we got into our walk-in closet for a while. He just, like he said, he passed out, like he was out, which is really weird for him. And I couldn't sleep at all that night. I just kept getting up to drink water. I was super, super thirsty, and I had a really, really fast heart rate, and I felt like I couldn't take a full breath all the way. And I took like valerian root, which usually calms me down, and like it helps me sleep really well, and didn't do anything. I just felt terrible, and my eyes were burning. After a few hours, the smell went away. But yeah, I couldn't sleep. The next morning I wake up, well, not wake up, I get up. It's like 6 a.m. and I'm just sort of strolling on the street to try and survey the damage, and I felt like I was gonna pass out just from walking. Like, it was really scary. I've never felt like I was gonna die before. I thought I was going to die, like laying there. Like, it sucked, and I'm super pissed.